The Blast from Our Past Network.
Lock your doors, close your windows, turn out your lights, for chills and thrills await you. It's time for Podcasting After Dark with your hosts, Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer. Stay with a friend, say your prayers as grisly ghouls close in to seal your doom. Tonight's episode, The Beyond, starring Catriona MacColl, David Warbeck, and Al Cliver.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcasting After Dark. I am one half of the pad team, Corey, a.k.a. Sleazy C. Joined with me, as always, is my brother from another mother, Zach, the Total Snacket Schaefer. And we are kicking off our month of Halloween movie reviews with The Beyond by Lucio Fulci. And this is a Cam Sully pick. Woohoo!
That's for you, Cam, for picking this movie, quite possibly the greatest Lucio Fulci film of all the times. I promise you I will try not to do any Mario impressions through this episode, and I will keep my stereotypes to a minimum. I'll try. I am Italian, though, so I can do that, right?
So it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm part German, so I can never mind.
Wow, so am I.
Hey.
But I don't try to tell people about that. What kind of name is Schaefer, isn't? Anyways, Comanche Indian.
Exactly. So thank you, Cam. He's been a highest tier patron for a very long time. But go check out his podcast, the Jacked Up Review Show podcast. It's a lot of fun. Zach and I have been on there, and those guys cover a lot of interesting films and TV shows. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff, but it's a lot of fun, and they bring a lot of cool conversations to the table.
Yeah, check it out. Recently, I think he just had our friend Levi from the Tremors panel on his show, and he gets some pretty cool guests, including us. And like you said, great discussions on that show with various topics. So check out his podcast, the Jacked Up Review Show podcast. And Cam has picked some great movies for us to break down. Everything from Believers. I hate that song, but I love that movie.
But now I can never hear that song without thinking of the movie. And two, I can never look at the movie title without thinking of that song, thanks to our review.
Yeah, so thank you, Cam, and how dare you, Cam. But ultimately,
he also gave us Steel and Lace, which was a lot of fun as well.
Steel and Lace. Yeah,
Lace and Steel.
Yes. Hey, I'm a guy in Vegas, baby. The great. When I say great, y'all know what I mean, right? I don't mean great like critically acclaimed, top to bottom, perfect film. When I say great, I mean it's entertaining as hell. That's what I'm saying. So. It's a great film. Steel and Lace.
Lace and Steel.
Yes, every time. Literally every time. We should have done that bit.
We should have. So, Zach, I think, you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of people consider Fulci's The Beyond, 1981, as his masterpiece, as his magnum opus. When was the first time you saw it? What did you think of it then versus what do you think of it now?
Oh, man. Well, I believe I saw The Beyond at a Fangoria convention back in the day. Fangoria conventions used to be so much fun. Well, Fangoria conventions were just fun, period. But they were fun on many levels because they would have a screening room as well. And it was literally just one of the extra hotel rooms that they put a little makeshift screen in.
One of the conference rooms or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean it was actually one of the hotel rooms they would do it in?
No, in a conference room.
Oh, okay.
But, it was pretty tiny and maybe held 20 people at the most. And it was like when you needed a break from the panels or you're forcing yourself not to spend any more money on the showroom floor or whatever, or the dealer's floor. And they would show great movies. And one of those movies was The Beyond. And I think that was the first time I saw it. And I was blown away. And then it got re-released at a art house film up in the Bay Area called the Camera Cinemas, and I saw it there. And when it came out on DVD, courtesy of Anchor Bay, when they did those...
buddy, the tin can version. I have 2 copies of those.
Well, you gave me one. So now you have one.
I have 1 copy of those.
Steel and lace.
Lace and steel.
Yes, so I have the one that Corey owns because I had it and then I sold it. Long story. Talked to my therapist about that. Anyways, I saw it. I've watched it so many times since then. It is my favorite Fulci film. I have this coffee table book called like the films of Lucio Fulci, which the cover of that is the beautiful final shot of the Beyond, with our protagonists with their backs turned to the camera. And Fangoria Convention is also where I got this really sweet Beyond graphic novel that included the soundtrack CD. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. Actually, it was one of my first vinyl picks when I got a record player on my own back in the day. I got that back in the day. I got that, and I got the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack by Goblin.
Oh yeah.
And I still have those records to this day. Great soundtracks. Anyways, that's my familiarity with the Beyond. Woohoo!
Do you remember about like what year it was that you saw it at Fangoria for that first time? Like, was it the early aughts or the late 90s?
Late 90s.
Okay.
I believe it was like 98 or 99.
Okay.
How about you? When did you first see The Beyond?
I think I do believe I saw it after Zombie. I remember having an issue of Rue Morgue, and I was Googling it. I think it came out in 2006. And it had a drawing of Zombie on the cover, you know, the zombie that you see on the cover of like all the movie posters and stuff. And I remember it was a whole issue basically dedicated to Fulci. And, you know, I had started at that point dabbling in maybe a couple years prior, you know, The Living Dead at Rue Morgue and stuff like that. You know, but I was kind of just getting into the Italian horror and zombie stuff. I was still working at Big Wolf. At the time. And, you know, I of course, in that Rue Morgue issue, they showed, of course, the girl getting her face shot off, an image of that. And then, of course, images of the Beyond at the end of the film and everything. And I was just mesmerized by it. And it became sort of my holy grail of what I wanted to see. And I don't remember how much longer after that, the Anchor Bay tin can DVD came out, but I believe, Zach, that was the first time I actually saw it. So I saw it under great hype. Like, you know what I mean? And bro, you know as well as I do, hype can almost always just kill the experience. Like, it almost can never like help it at all, except this time. This is the time when the hype basically, you know, not helped it, just it didn't hinder my experience basically. I loved it. I loved the music. I love the dreamlike atmosphere of the film. And then, like probably most people, that ending haunts me. You know, it still haunts me to this day. This movie's version of the other side of hell is it's so interesting in its simplicity, but it's also so terrifying in its simplicity.
Yeah, I totally agree. This was my go-to movie to put on in the background without any sound. So just a cool visual when I had people over to my house because of that last scene, of course. And some of the other grotesque moments in this that are just like mind-blowing, no pun intended, or pun intended, depending on how you look at it. And the thing is about this film, yeah, you're right. It is overhyped in many ways, but it lives up to that hype. Like
right. Every
time people say, oh, you got to see the Beyond, you got to get the Beyond. And Grindhouse just put out that beautiful 4K version, which, was like so expensive when it first came out. I know there's kind of somewhat of a bare bones one you can get now via their website. Anyways, yeah, this movie like lives up to everything that people say it is. There's not one thing people say about the Beyond that's inaccurate to me. Is it cheesy? Yes. Are there moments that are totally over the top and wild in like, yes. And
is the music absolutely stunning?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the overacting prevalent? Yes.
Yes. Does a little girl get her face shot off? Yes.
Yes. Is there steel and lace?
No.
No.
Steel and lace. Lace and
Lace and
steel.
steel.
Zach, while you did mention it, the Grindhouse releasing 4K. I did get the special edition. I gotta say, if you can find it for under $100, it is worth every penny. It comes with like 5 discs. It comes with like numerous documentaries and interviews and everything. I tried to watch what I could before this, but also numerous cuts of the film and stuff, and it all looks great.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
What's the longest? Are there ones that are longer than the original?
Well,
cut?
there's the composer cut, the Fabio Frizzi. I think he recomposes the music, I believe. But there's I don't know I'd have to open it up to see it, but there's like a 7 doors version, to it and stuff. So yeah, I don't know offhand. But it does come with a music CD and Blu-rays and DVDs and everything like that. But Zach, let me say real quick, one thing I kind of noticed, and I'm just thinking about it now, so I don't want to forget it while we're breaking down the movie. Having now kind of analyzed Don Coscarelli and Phantasm, Emily in this movie, the blind lady, she's not quite a ghost. She's like very much more corporeal than a ghost. I would call her a phantasm in this. And as I'm watching this movie, I was like, I think this could be a shared universe with Phantasm.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I know she's not from it's a different theme and everything, but this idea that like these ghosts aren't just like walk through wall ghosts, they're more physical than that, but they're still ghostly at the same time.
It's like when Jody becomes a sphere, or
even just the tall man, how sort of he interacts with the environment as well sometimes.
Yeah, or Mike becomes basically a walking shell of himself at the end. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this film is so dreamlike, just like the first Phantasm as well.
Right.
And I will say, yeah, that definitely shares a universe too. I could see that. That would make a great double bill.
Yeah, so maybe like tonally is what I'm probably picking up on.
Yeah, no, I think you're not off base at all. I think what it is that I just had to think about it. Because I was too busy thinking about steel and lace.
Lace and steel. But real quick, obviously we covered a lot of the key behind the scenes players in this movie with Zombie, because they're pretty much all same cinematographer, same composer, I believe same producer, and obviously Fulci. But let's, if you haven't listened to our Zombie review, please go back and check that one out, because Zach and I had an absolute blast with that movie as well. But Zach, kick us off with Fulci.
Yeah, Fulci has directed so many freaking films. It's insane. And as a director, he's got well over 60 movies. And then as a writer, there's like over 200 writing credits on IMDb. And it's really like, pick your favorite Fulci. What's your favorite Fulci? Is it dreamlike? Is it more slaughter? Is it more slasher? Is it more zombie-like? Is it westerns, spaghetti westerns? I will say a crime films. There's a few films that I'll point out that I love of Fulci that I own. One is Contraband. That's a great crime movie that he did back in 1980 that stars Fabio Testi. And if you don't know who Fabio Testi is, he's one of those badass dudes back in the 70s and early 80s who just looked good. He just looked good. And I will say another one I love of Fulci is For the Apocalypse, a western, spaghetti western that he did, which again stars Fabio Testi and Michael J. Pollard. If you don't know,
yeah.
And really, really cool western. Again, visually striking. He did a version of White Fang, which I want to see because I love that book by Jack London. Call the Wild and White Fang. Franco Nero is in it. Franco Django Nero is in it. I want to see that. Anyways, that's some stuff that you might not think of when you think of Fulci.
Was it Michael J. Pollard? Isn't he one of the voices on Toxic Crusaders?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
and we saw him in Split Second as well. He was like the Rat Man under. He was also in Scrooged. He's one of the ones that freezes, in underground or whatever.
Yeah, he's in Roxanne. He's one of the firefighters in Roxanne. He's like a great character actor. Toxic Crusaders for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Zach, the cinematographer, he also worked on Zombies, so we called him out there. But where else do we know Sergio Salviti from? And unfortunately, he passed away this year.
I think it's Salvati, but I could be wrong.
I'm gonna butcher every single name except for Fulci's.
That's okay. He's a camera guy and a cinematographer for a lot of movies.
The Good and the Bad and the Ugly being one of them.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, that alone is fantastic. Puppet Master from Full Moon, the original Puppet Master. Spellcaster, which is a decent horror film. Transformations, which is a decent horror film. Cellar Dweller, Ghoulies 2, Cobra Mission, Crawl Space, Thunder, 1990, The Bronx Warriors. I mean, like, come on, so many good ones.
And he did Contraband, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Contraband is definitely worth seeking out. And a movie called Flying Sex, which I believe probably is not worth seeking out. And Dr. Jekyll likes them hot. So I'm sensing a little... And Silver Saddle.
Man's got to work. Man's got to work,
Yeah, Amore Grande, Amore Libero. I don't know what's going on here. These titles, I could be wrong, but Desert of Fire... Yeah, I think we're sensing a theme. The theme is great movies, great cinematography by Sergio Salvati.
And the writer of the film, Dardano Sacchetti.
Yeah.
He wrote Demons, a movie we covered with David Irons, one of his favorite films. But I want to kind of couple him with the producer, because I was watching some of the behind the scenes stuff. The producer, Fabrizio De Angelis, basically Fabrizio took just the title, The Beyond, and a poster by the amazing Enzo Ciotti. You've seen his posters before. He does some awesome stuff. He just took that, just the title and that poster to like a festival, got the backing, got the distribution. We've heard of this is how it's done back in the day with Full Moon and everything like that. This is very standard back in the day. But from actually at the convention, he would take like multiple ideas from the writer, and then he would call them from that, it's not a convention. It's, whatever you want to call it. I guess it is sort of a convention.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of convention.
Yeah, it's only for industry players. But he would basically called Dardano and it's like, here's the one they want. Start writing it now. So I always find it interesting how you kind of like you write under constraints, sort of, versus having a sort of blue sky type of thing. And then he also worked. Fulci's got some screenplay credits on it because he worked with Fulci on things that like he wanted to see in the film. Like, I want this lady to get her eyeball popped out. And he's like, okay, now I got to figure out how to write that scene sort of in it and everything. So just wanted to kind of combine those two behind the scenes people as well.
And that's the thing about Fulci, like his gore level is so over the top. And I know back in the day, it probably made people faint, people sick. Nowadays, you look at it and it's schlocky and funny, and because the effects are what they were from back in the early 80s. And I enjoy it more now than I did back then. Back in the day, I think it made me a little kind of sick to my stomach. Nowadays, I'm just like, oh, this is so over the top and wild, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And at least it's all practical effects, as opposed to CGI that we see nowadays. So
I'll piggyback on that and say I watched a movie recently, a series of movies. They had actual practical effects by a wizard of effects making, and the worst CGI I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, man, it's one thing to be all just bad CGI, but the fact that they had really cool practical effects and then terrible CGI, just don't even show me the CGI. Just show me the practical effects like this. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, exactly. Zach, the cast and the crew, aside from some major players, most everybody else is kind of just like, doing Italian stuff and everything, and a lot of dramas, some sleazy stuff. But the main cast, who are they and where do we know them from?
Well,
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Well, Catriona MacColl, she plays Liza Merrill, not to be confused with Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if this was Liza Minnelli. You guys, there's a dog coming in. I can't believe. She has been acting up until today. Not yet today, but she's currently doing stuff on screen, which is great. But she's been around forever, dating back to 1978. I mean, she was in City of the Living Dead, which I haven't watched that movie since the late 90s, and it made me sick to my stomach. House by the Cemetery. I mean, she's a popular face for Fulci to use, and she's great in this. She's so good in this.
Yeah, so City of the Living Dead, a.k.a. Gates of Hell, that was her first Fulci film. She's in that, she's in The Beyond, and she's in The House by the Cemetery. And those are, how John Carpenter has the Apocalypse trilogy, which is, what is it? The Thing, They Live, and In the Mouth of Madness. And they're basically it's
Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. Yeah, it's The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and The Mouth of Madness. And they're not connected other than thematically. Dario Argento has the Three Mothers trilogy, or the Mother of Tears trilogy. And this is Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy. And she just happens to be in all three of them. Again, that's City of the Living Dead, aka Gates of Hell, 1980, The Beyond, 1981, and The House by the Cemetery, 1981. She was offered New York Ripper, but she turned it down because in the interview that I watched, she just said it was time for her to move on, essentially. But Zach, I echo what you said. City of the Living Dead, aka Gates of Hell. When that lady vomits up her intestines, that made me sick to my stomach. The first time I watched it, although I do very much enjoy that film. It's a hard watch, I think. And then I did just watch The House by the Cemetery for the first time last week because I was like, okay, I might as well round out this Gates of Hell trilogy, and it was interesting. I would probably say it's the lesser of the three, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't see it. It has some cool shit in it. It's like basically this monster Frankenstein type of guy's living in the basement of this house that this family has rented, and havoc ensues. But there's again another ghostly element to it as well. So it's not just like a stereotypical straight slasher type of thing. And the guy who plays the zombie of Schweik plays the demon monster guy in the basement of this as well. So yeah, there's some interesting connections, and if you ever get a chance, check it out. I wouldn't say it's required viewing other than for completists, Fulci completists.
Yeah, if you're doing a marathon and you take a bunch of uppers and you gotta,
yeah, finger popping each other's assholes.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Sure.
Don't you remember that from 21 Jump Street when she says that? So good.
Oh yeah. That was last Tuesday. David Warbeck, and David Warbeck is he plays Dr. John McCabe, not John McClane if you hear it too fast. John McClane, he's got an interesting career. So he passed away in 97 at the age of 55.
Yeah, I believe he had cancer.
Oh, bummer. That's a bummer. He's been in a lot of fun movies, specifically, and some terrible ones, like Domino with Brigitte Nielsen. Go watch that movie, or don't. Treasure Island in Outer Space, The Ark of the Sun God, Lassiter, which is a Tom Selleck spy movie, but he was also in The Black Cat, Fulci film, and he was in a movie in the 70s. I love this Western. It's called Duck You Sucker. And it stars Rod Steiger and James Coburn. And if you've never seen Duck You Sucker, it's directed by Sergio Leone. It's a spaghetti Western. Y'all got to check that movie out. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, and he was also in an interesting movie called The Last Hunter, 1980, by Antonio Margheriti, who has Bobby Rhodes from Demons is in it, and also Tissa Farrow from Zombie is in it as well. The director, Antonio, he's the director of The Hunter from the Future. You know that cover.
Oh, God, I do. I actually own it on Blu-ray, and
oh, boy.
I'm sad to say. He's not Ian McCullough. Ian McCullough, obviously, who's in Zombie, gets a lot of the love when it comes to Fulci leading men.
Yeah.
But I will say David Warbeck, probably my favorite. If I had to choose between the two, I would go with David Warbeck.
Yeah. No, I would too. I mean, his characters make some interesting choices in this, and he's kind of an asshole a little bit, but actually kind of like that.
Fully.
Pretty much like the rest. Yeah, he is pretty much fully an asshole in it. I think the rest of the cast, mostly like Emily, the blind lady, she's mostly doing like drama stuff and everything in Italy. And even the young girl, Maria Pia, who gets her face blown off. But Zach, we have seen the guy who plays Dr. Harris in this film, Al Cliver. And where did we see him?
From Zombie.
Yeah.
And he's great in that, and so wasted in this. He's
Absolutely.
So wasted.
Yeah, dude.
He pops up and I'm like, oh, cool. And he's dead.
Yeah. He's like in like 2 scenes. He could have been given more. We both liked him in Zombie, his character and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't get to do much. Yeah, unfortunately. In that movie, Endgame, what is it, Bronx or something? Last Bronx, or Laura Gemser is in it.
Where do we know her from, Corey?
my giant box set of Black Emmanuel right behind me.
Where you know her from.
Oh, boy.
Ping pong balls? I thought you said King Kong's balls.
Oh, man. Man alive. All right, Zach, is there anybody else in the cast that I'm missing, or is that pretty much it?
No, I think that's it, and I'm ready to get into this like a spider goes into your mouth and rip your tongue out. What? Woohoo!
And thanks again to Cam Sully from the Jacked Up Review Show podcast for picking this from our Patreon, our highest Patreon tier. So if you too want to become a producer of the show and tell us what movies we should review and break down, go check out patreon.com/podcastafterdark and sign up for the highest tier. We have some great people over there supporting the show, and frickin' love you all. And you all have brought some amazing movies to the show. But now it's time for my favorite Fulci film.
Steel and lace.
Lace and steel.
Hoo-hoo.
You are Liza, aren't you?
Yes?
My name is Emily. I've been looking for you. Go back to where you came from and hurry. Leave this place. "60 years ago, everybody in this hotel disappeared. Every last person. A painter called Spike, who lived here, closeted in his room, had found a key.
Tell me, with all those accidents, you think you'll give it up now?
I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Well, I won't give in. here.
Is nobody here?
I can feel a presence. Somebody else is in here.
Oh, some weird story that Emily told me about room 36.
Emily? Who's Emily?
The blind girl that lives in the old house by the crossroads.
No, Spike. Go away. I don't want to go back.
The girl that lives in the old house by the crossroads.
Yes.
That house has been abandoned for the last 50 years.
But that's not true. It's not possible. I was there.
This house was constructed on one of the... Woe be unto him who opens one of the 7 gateways to hell, because through that gateway, evil will invade the world.
The Beyond, 1981. The movie opens on a lone hotel in the bayou. A title card reads, Louisiana, 1927. And this whole first section of the movie, this like prequel, I love the sepia tone filter it has.
Me too. The only thing that this scene's missing is Creedence Clearwater Revival playing in the background.
Very true.
But I agree.
Or what the from Deliverance, you know, the banjo song from Deliverance.
Yep.
We see Schweik working on a disturbing looking painting in room 36. And by the way, Zach, we should call it out now. This painting is basically what hell looks like in the movie. At the very end, the Beyond. But it's really cool. First off, it's a beautiful painting. It's disturbing as hell. And it's really cool that we see it throughout this film. And it's, if you're first time watching it, you don't know that that's essentially where our protagonists are going to end up.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great tease. And my God, it's so haunting. I love it.
Me too. Outside, a lynch mob is silently advancing on the Seven Doors Hotel. While this is happening, Emily is in her home reading from the Book of Iban. In this book are collected all the prophecies of Iban, handed down from generation to generation over more than 4,000 years. The lynch mob bursts into room 36 and accuses Schweik of being an ungodly warlock. They say that because of him in this hotel, the town will be cursed forever. They beat Schweik with chains, ripping the flesh from his body. Dude, the beatdown that Schweik gets is brutal.
This is your first taste of Fulci's gore in this film. And yeah, he doesn't pull any punches. Or chains, for that matter.
Touché.
Sorry.
Cut back to Emily, still reading from the Book of Iban. The 7 dreaded gateways are concealed in seven cursed places. Woe be unto him who ventures near without knowledge. Back at the hotel, the mob is dragging Schweik into the basement. The accused warlock tries to warn them that the hotel was built on one of the 7 doors of evil, and only he has the knowledge to save them. They again beat Schweik with chains, breaking his bones and tearing his flesh. Then they nail his arm to the basement wall. Schweik cries out in pain. The men then throw boiling plaster on the crucified warlock, and we watch Schweik's face sizzle and melt. The camera pans over and we see an arcane symbol etched into the wall next to the dying man. Zach, I mean, insult to injury, like throwing that like boiling plaster on him, and like, and how good that is, the arm, like the nail going into the arm and everything.
The gore is, it's wild. Yeah, I love how he's like, I'm the only one who can protect you or save you, basically. Spoiler, never get anybody that's going to save anybody in this movie. And then, you know, the music, it's so funny. This is the taste of the music not necessarily fitting the scene, because it's so like kind of disco-y in a way. But I still really enjoy it. But it doesn't match the scene. It really doesn't. You're like, this is a old, you know, moment back in history with like this modern music playing, you know, and you're like, what is going on right now? Which I love. And then you see the symbol, you know, for Blue Oyster Cult. So I'm like, wait, is Blue Oyster Cult coming tonight to play the Seven Doors Hotel? No.
So the funny thing is, I actually have a story about that symbol.
The Blue Oyster Cult symbol? No.
No, on the documentary, they talked to Fulci's daughter, and she had that symbol tattooed on her wrist. She did it herself when she was 14. I think you can guess she might have been a little bit of a rebellious kid. Now, granted, she shows it like it's all faded now, but the camera does kind of zoom in on it. It's like really, really tiny. She was like the symbol, it meant nothing. Yeah, like I was just being kind of like a rebellious kid or whatever. And she said she got so much flack and so much hell from her dad because of it. And she's like, then one night he's in the house, like talking with the production designer about, the movie, The Beyond. He calls her into his office. Then he's like, show him what you did to your arm. And, she shows it. And he's like, that's what I want the symbol to be like on the walls, like that. And he's like, all right, now get out of here, basically. And she's like, okay. And she's like, I'll never have it removed now because, it clearly means something now. But at the time, he hated it. She was like, he absolutely hated it. And she's like, I was grounded for so long because of it. But she said it meant nothing. She just was, it's like a doodle, like almost like a tattoo doodle.
Wow, that's wild. I'm curious, anybody listening, do you have that tattoo on your body? And if you do, tell us in the comments. If you're listening to this on, Spotify, you can actually write comments now.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button while you're at it, and let us know if you have that tattoo or even considered getting that tattoo back in the day. And do you think that Fulci is a better or worse father than Dario Argento, who put his daughter Asia in compromising situations in almost every single movie? Which one do you think is worse?
Oh boy.
Or better,
Boy.
I'm just curious. Just saying.
Yeah, what's in the water over there in Italy?
Woo. Take your clothes off. We're gonna put you in a scene, Daddy. That's terrible.
I know. I watched. She's in the church, which he didn't direct, but I believe he produced and everything. It was directed by our buddy who did Cemetery Man, and Asia. I think is how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
She's young, and some older man is like into her and everything, and it's wild. Now it's funny because as of the time of this recording, I'm actually going to be reviewing Land of the Dead tomorrow on Ready to Retro, and she's in that movie as well.
I like her.
Yeah. I like that movie too, by the way.
But that's her dad. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. Problematic.
But for me personally, I'd rather be a rebellious teen with a tattoo of Blue Oyster Cult. Maybe she was starting to do Blue Oyster Cult and her dad walked in on her and she stopped and it finished with that because it's like pretty close to a Blue Oyster Cult tattoo. Do you guys have a Blue Oyster Cult tattoo? Because I think that's pretty awesome too. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I've as I've gotten older, I've become more intrigued with Blue Oyster Cult, especially like this meta idea that they are like this, like it was a cult and everything like that. I know it's a lot of it's, show and stuff like that, but they're a lot of their lyrics and stuff is very esoteric, and I believe the person who wrote a lot of their music is very magical leaning and everything.
I like Blue Oyster Cult. I have some of their stuff on vinyl.
I mean, heavy metal, baby. Heavy metal, the movie.
Yeah, come on. Anyways, back to the movie.
Yes, cut back to Emily reading from the book. Woe be unto him who opens one of the 7 gateways to hell, because through that gateway, evil will invade the world. The book catches fire in her hands, and we get the opening credits and title card over top of the flames while Fabio Frizzi's haunting score plays. I guess, Zach, that's when Emily probably technically dies and when her eyes go white right there.
Yeah, I think so. The same thing happened to Corey, by the way, with Playboy issue from 1986. Donna D'Erico. It literally went up in his hands in flames. Ask his mom.
And that's why my eyes are white right now.
That's why he wears glasses.
Yeah. That's why my palms are stealing lace.
Lace and steel. Woohoo!
Cut to present day Louisiana. Well, 1981 present day. We see the Seven Doors Hotel being renovated. Liza tells her contractor, Martin, that she inherited the hotel and nothing more. She doesn't have the money to do all the construction work he has planned. She just wants to get it up and running, and if business starts booming, then they can revisit Martin's grand plans. As Liza and Martin are walking the grounds, Liza says hi to one of the painters on the second story. He's standing on some scaffolding and tells her they should be done with the section by night. He goes back to painting, but instead something catches his eye. He looks into the window of room 36 and sees a blonde woman with white eyes staring back at him. This frightens the painter so bad he falls off the scaffolding and hits the ground hard. Blood starts pouring from his mouth.
It's hilarious, let's be honest. And it's not Kathy Shower that he sees in the windows. There's your other Playboy reference. Playboy reference for the night. Anyways, oh my God, this scene is hilarious because, yeah, he's coughing up what looks like, food coloring and foam, and which is really funny. But yeah, it's like, oh, it's like a safety video gone bad.
Yeah, dude, we've seen, those are kind of doing the rounds on social media, those old safety videos from the 90s and everything. But yeah, the blood in this and stuff, you do realize what Tom Savini sort of brought to the table, like sort of making blood look so much more realistic than it ever used to look and everything. And it does kind of just like, wow, it's coming out of my mouth. That's basically, it looks like paint,
Yeah, y'all have done that with like popsicles back in the day, and then you try to get the spit going. You're like, oh God, I'm dying. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
but the shocking scene when he sees Emily, it's creepy.
Yeah, it is. Inside, we see the painter is on the couch going in and out of consciousness and screaming about the eyes he saw. Liza calls out to Arthur, one of the two people she has working at the hotel full time, asking where the doctor is. Arthur says he's on his way. By the way, the guy who plays Arthur is also in The House by the Cemetery as well.
Oh yeah, okay. I now I haven't seen that movie all the way through. I don't think I've only seen images, and I remember seeing his face or his faccia, which is face in Italian.
Yeah, there you go.
Faccia's face, right?
Sometime later, we see Dr. John McCabe, again, not John McClane, pulls up to
California.
Pulls up to the hotel in his car. He quickly determines that the painter needs to go to the hospital. No shit.
Yeah, this guy, by the way, amazing doctor. Amazing doctor.
Yeah. He and another painter carry the fucked up man out to his car and leave. Martin tells Liza that she's off to a great start with the hotel. As Martin goes to leave, he spots the painting that Schweik was working on in room 36. It's covered in cobwebs. As he's cleaning it off, one of the call buzzers goes off from room 36. Liza says there isn't a soul in that room. I do like that kind of stuff when it's like there's like little spooky indications,
Yeah, me too. I'm just also thinking now it would be amazing if in the 80s if they had done a version of this with the Money Pit, like a comedy.
You mean the Tom Hanks movie?
Actually, you could do a double feature of the Beyond and the Money Pit.
Because it's kind of like her Money Pit.
It's totally.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The next day, Joe the plumber pulls up in his truck and is greeted by Liza. She tells him the faucets aren't working and the basement's flooded. Liza takes Joe downstairs and asks how long will it take. He says it'll take as long as it takes. Joe's kind of like a man's man.
He's a man's man. Is this when he's smoking a cigarette too, by the way?
Yeah, right. Yeah. He walks right in the house. He's not smoking outside. He walks right in the house and starts smoking.
Yeah.
Dude, those were different times. You didn't ask. It was all assumed that you could just smoke inside.
No, and you didn't take your shoes off. Like nowadays, everyone takes their shoes off. And if you don't, you really should
disgusting.
Because there's so much disgusting stuff on the street when you're walking around, get all over your shoes. Anyways, just saying. But yeah, he's a man's man. He's all hair. He's all hair.
Yeah, his chest hair, face hair.
Clearly Greek. He's got I was hoping he'd say Yasu.
Yeah, it's wild. It is wild.
Yasu.
It's all hair.
It'll take as long as it takes. Yasu.
Martha, the hotel's other employee, comes walking out of the darkness. She made a path for Joe to walk on through the high water with wood planks. Martha has a sinister look to her, but Joe seems unbothered by her or the knee-high water, and he gets to work.
Ever dated a girl who had a sinister face?
No, but I'm guessing you have.
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe. You got a sinister face. Anyone ever tell you have a sinister face? One person did, and they're dead now.
We call it resting bitch face, I guess, right?
RBF, yeah.
Yeah. The plumber starts searching for the source of the water by breaking through one of the back walls. It leads to another room that's been bricked off. We see the arcane symbol and know it's where Schweik was crucified. Upstairs, Liza is tidying up when she comes across Arthur looking for keys in her room. Some of the rooms are locked, room 36 in particular. She's not very pleased by him being in there without her permission and sends him to the roof to unclog the chimney. I love how she's so pissed off. She's like, you know what? Fucking unclog that chimney up on the roof, you piece of shit.
Are these your panties? Will you get out of my drawer?
Yeah.
And by the way, you know how the plumbing's not working? Because Martha's hair looks like she hasn't washed it in about 2 months.
Oh, and dude, I think later on, I think she's pulling it out of the tub too. I think it's all her.
Oh, what? Yeah. I mean, like this film will make what do you call it if you're cleanophobe? I don't know. Germaphobe.
Oh yeah, like a germaphobe. Yeah, you know.
This will make a germaphobe cringe so hard and be in the fetal position.
Me, it does. Especially,
really?
I mean, seriously, when she reaches into the tub later,
Yeah.
I can barely watch.
Well, because it's Joe's man hair.
That's the worst part. You know, it's his pubes.
Well, you said it, not me.
Back in the basement, Puby Joe thinks he's found the source of the water.
You know, Paul calls them tubes, by the way. Chest hairs that look like pubes. Tubes.
It's perfect.
And it's literally, you just do one sweep over your whole body.
God. Oh, it's disgusting. He pulls wet dirt away and a hole starts to form. Just then, a decomposed hand shoots out of the hole and grabs Joe by the face. The hand pops the plumber's eyeballs out as he screams. So now we get kind of like our first, well, no, it's not. I mean, Schweik getting killed in the flashback at the beginning is our first major kill. But this is a good one, man. I mean, well, we're like 10 minutes into the movie. We've already got great kills, 2 of them. And by the way, this film's only, again, like a perfect hour and 26 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to move fast. And what I do appreciate is it does move fast into the kills. I prefer the short kills over the long ones. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. I have some comments later on with the tarantula. The tarantula kill. I'll get to that when I get there. But I have it's one of my few criticisms of the movie. I think it slows it down, but I'll bring that up then.
Me too.
Cut to Liza driving her car over a long bridge. So apparently that is the bridge that they would, like, the production crew would have to go over to get to the location of the hotel. At one point, I think it was one of the longest bridges in America or something, she was saying. But this image of Emily on the bridge is... I know I love the final, the beyond and everything, but my favorite image from the movie is Emily standing in the middle of the bridge with just that vast emptiness around her.
Yeah, there's 2 scenes that I love in this movie, and I could just watch those 2 scenes over and over again, or have that print on my wall or something.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 scenes. That bridge is so terrifying, and that's in New Orleans?
Yeah, it's basically driving over the bayou, essentially.
Okay, so... to paint a picture of this bridge, it's a very simple straight line
and very flat. It's not like it doesn't rise up or anything.
Yeah, and the water level looks like it's above the road because there's what do you call it? Walls on the side of the bridge. Basically, it looks like the water is at the level of the walls. It's really creepy.
And when I first saw the images of this, I didn't know that the movie took place in Louisiana. I thought this was maybe like a Key West bridge or something, you know?
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, this could be Florida. They probably shot this scene in Florida. Nope.
Yeah. No. Apparently, they had to drive it every day, and it's like it takes you a while to get over it. So, like, it would also add to them having to, be on set at a certain time and everything.
Creepy.
So, yeah. So again, no one else is on the road. Liza slams on her brakes when she sees a blind woman and her seeing eye dog standing in the middle of the bridge. We know it's Emily, who was reading from the Book of Iban at the beginning of the film. Now the pupils of her eyes are white and cracked. I also like that aspect of it. Like, they're not just white, they're like cracked, like almost like marble or something.
Yeah, and it makes me have a lot of sympathy for the actress who plays Emily because must have been painful to wear.
Well, the lady, the main lady who played Liza, she had to wear them at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And she said they were painful, and she only had to wear them for that, like, pretty much one shooting day. So, yeah, Emily had to wear them all the time, and I don't even think you can see out of them, by the way. I think they're pretty much opaque.
Oh, and this was not what we have now. Contact lens wise is vastly superior to what we had back then.
Exactly.
Oh God, it's terrible.
The dog's name is Dickie, by the way. Emily says, because Liza gets out of the car, "You are Liza, aren't you? I've been looking for you." And I think I know that Fulci has kind of like a tongue-in-cheek humor to him, and in the interviews that they were talking about this movie, but also Zombie, they intended Zombie to be more not comic, but comic booky, and not to be taken too seriously. And it did turn out to be taken seriously. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fulci was like, "That's funny, right? Like, I've been looking for you," and her eyes are what, But the way Emily delivers, the actress delivers the lines, it's very haunting the way she talks.
Yeah, I can see why you would laugh at that scene. It makes sense that it's silly, but I don't see the scene for anything other than being serious in tone. And it's really, every time Emily's on screen, it's probably my favorite moments of this movie. Some of my favorite moments involve her.
Yes, I'm with you 100%. She's very interesting to look at in the eyes, of course, and everything she's sort of doing acting-wise is a lot of fun.
Well, if you had plaster in your eyeballs, you probably would hope that people would have some appreciation for your work.
Exactly. Back in the hotel basement, Martha is searching for Joe the puby plumber.
Oh, God.
Cut back to the city, and
God,
Liza
by the way, how gross is that water in the basement? And they're just sloshing through. She's just walking in there with her dress on.
Oh, God.
Getting her socks all just like disgusting.
Yeah. No, thank you. Stagnant water is nasty.
No.
Cut back to the city, and Liza brings Emily and Dickie to their home. A rundown-looking old mansion. Even though she's blind, Emily navigates her way to the front door with ease. Dude, I love all the plants and the foliage that are in front of that house.
Yeah, me too. It's the locations are so unique. And again, it adds to the dreamlike quality. This whole film is a dream, or rather a nightmare.
Yeah, and the whole thing, aside from the interior stuff, which I think was shot on sound stages in Italy, all the exterior stuff is all shot in Louisiana.
That's wild, and sadly, most of that stuff is probably gone post Hurricane Catriona. So
yeah, seriously, yeah, probably.
It's a shame.
Back in the flooded basement of the Seven Doors Hotel, Martha finds Joe kneeling with his head slumped forward. When she touches his shoulder, Joe falls over dead. His eyes have been clawed out, and blood and guts are coming out of his mouth. Martha, weirdly unfazed by this, looks over and sees the rotting body of Schweik floating in the water. And it is, again, I do love the dreamlike aspect of it, and because of the dreamlike aspect of it, some things don't make sense. Like, I'm never quite sure, is Martha bad? I know that Liza mentions later that Martha and Arthur came with the hotel. Are they kind of demons as well? But if so, then why did they get killed,
Yeah, and I'm also wondering, too, thinking about people with dark hair in Italian horror films, they tend to be the women.
Yeah.
Are kind of more mysterious. Versus the blonde, who is typically like more angelic like.
Right.
And I'm wondering if there's something to that. You're supposed to feel like, is she, in on the plot with this, or maybe it's a red herring kind of thing?
I like where you're going there. It's almost like an Italian filmatic archetype or something.
I feel like it is in this case for this movie.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm picking up what you're putting down, baby.
And she must smell really freaking bad after because she's probably bathed in like 6 months, like I said, and now she's walking through all that soot and grossness.
Yeah, because they have remember they mentioned they have no running water. It's all, and the basement's all flooded, so I don't know where her, Liza, or Arthur have been showering.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Cut to inside Emily's mansion, and Liza is sitting on the couch while Emily plays the piano. And I like how what she's playing is the Fabio Frizzi's like song, like it's the theme of the movie.
Yeah, the dun 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 dun. Yeah, or whatever. Be funny if she started going dun 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 dun. Woohoo!
Woohoo! The living room is immaculate, unlike the outside of the building. Liza asks Emily, "Why did you say I must give up the hotel?" Cryptically, Emily says that she can't explain it to Liza. "Just take my word for it. Go back to where you came from and hurry. Leave this place." Okay. Thanks, bitch. No.
And I know so you step in front of my car, you take me to you don't even offer me any food when we come in here. Just make me sit down, force me to listen to you play piano, and now you're telling me to get out?
Yeah. It's
okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, do a better job, Emily. You got to give me a little bit more. I mean, your white eyes are cool and all, but you got to give me more.
Give me some crackers, for crying out loud.
Oh, on that, by the way, this set we're going to see is really cool. The morgue.
Oh, yeah.
Cut to the hospital morgue, and we see Joe's body on a table surrounded by other bodies. The design of the morgue is unlike anything I've ever seen before, bro. It's stark and modern with like no storage lockers for bodies. It's like you know how we're used to. And we see Joe's being sewed up, you know, from his autopsy by Dr. McCabe. And also Dr. McCabe's like double-breasted turquoise scrubs are really interesting looking as well. John then goes over to examine the rotted corpse of Schweik. Dr. Harris, who we mentioned earlier from Zombie, wants to hook the dead body up to a brainwave machine to see if it gets any readings. John says he's on his own with that little experiment, and when he gets back, he's going to give the corpse a proper autopsy. John leaves Dr. Harris to his experiment. He spots Liza in the car next to him while driving home and beeps at her. So Zach, first off, you know, how the set looks and what Dr. McCabe is wearing is just bonkers, wild, but at the same time, amazing.
Yeah, John McCain. No, wow, John McCain.
He's going to shoot his best friend in the face.
Give you a thumbs down. Yeah, it's wild. I agree. It's one of my favorite sets. This hospital overall is hauntingly cool. You know, and yeah, like I love how he's like, "Hey, hook up your little machine and I'll get to some real science." You're like, he doesn't say that, but you know, it's kind of implied because he's like, "I'll give her the proper autopsy." Okay, dude, like you're already crotchety and you're not even like 40. By the way, he's probably like 30 and he looks like he's way older than he actually is.
We always talk about that because of the hairstyles, the lack of like eyebrow grooming. Like, yeah, he's probably 29, 30, 31, something like that. Like you and I are like double the age of him now then, and we look younger than him.
Yeah, it is fascinating to me. Yeah, so he was born in 1941. This movie came out in 1981 or 1980.
Yes, okay, so all right.
He's 39, maybe,
yeah.
40. Sure. Okay, he looks about his age. I'll give him that.
Okay. All right. I will say, you know, like what Dr. Harris is doing, and this is kind of like his main thing. It feels so forced. Like he wanted to give this guy, you know, the actor Clive, something, you know, to do in this movie, and there's really nothing for him to do with this brainwave machine. And yeah, it kind of comes into play a little bit in like in a couple scenes from now, but nothing that was like really necessary at all.
Yeah, he's totally underused, and I would have liked to have seen a third guy at the end. You know, I would have liked to have seen like Doctor, and Liza at the end. That would have been cool.
Yeah, all three
Dr. Liza.
three of them holding hands. Dr. Liza, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. He looks like an Italian. Well, he's actually from like Egypt, I think. He's born in Egypt. Okay. He looks like Nick Nolte.
He does. He's got a little bit of a European Nick Nolte look to him. Yeah. Yes. Hey everybody, Corey here. I just wanted to let you know that we'll be right back after these short messages. Hey everybody, Corey here.
And it's me, Zach.
We wanted to tell you about our new show called The Coscarelli Factor.
You can find it on our Patreon at patreon.com/podcastingafterdark. The Coscarelli Factor covers every single film that Don Coscarelli has directed. And some other little bonus features in there too, like maybe the music videos he directed as well.
That's right. You can find all the episodes under the Auteur de Force tier on our Patreon page. Like Zach said, that's patreon.com/podcastingafterdark. And if you sign up today, you will get access to the complete Carpenter Factor series, where Zach and I went through every single movie that John Carpenter directed, from Dark Star all the way to, well, all the way till the end. So sign up today to our Patreon page and you can unlock all kinds of other things as well, like ad-free episodes and our monthly wrap-up After Dark show.
Patreon helps keep the lights on in the podcasting After Dark world. It gets pretty dark out there at night, and all your support keeps us from getting too scared.
And thank you to everyone who's signed up to our Patreon page. We really appreciate it. And as always,
we'll catch you on the dark side.
And now, back to the show. Back in the morgue, Dr. Harris isn't getting anywhere with the brainwave readings from the corpse of Schweik. He gets a page that he's needed elsewhere, so he leaves the morgue unattended. As soon as Harris leaves the room, the brainwave machine comes to life. I mean, goddamn, you could just wait a few more minutes.
Shocker!
At the same time, Joe's wife and their daughter Jill enter the hospital. Jill waits outside the morgue while her mom goes in to dress Joe's body in his funeral attire. Shouldn't they have someone else do that? And shouldn't the door to the morgue be locked? Like, that is such a grim thing for your wife to have to do.
Small town, maybe? I don't know.
Or it could be a religious thing where only she's allowed to touch the body. But then, you know, have her do it in a room where it's just his body and not the rotting corpse of Schweik, like, right next to it. And she is unfazed by any of those.
Yeah, she's pulling a Martha.
Yeah. I mean, she's Joe's wife seems very stoic.
Dead inside, basically.
Maybe.
Yes.
Joe's wife, with a stronger constitution than I'll ever have, begins her grim task with care. Once she's done, she turns around and screams at something she sees off screen. It's certainly not the rotting corpse of Schweik. That's just sitting on the table next to Joe, and she's been paying it no mind.
I'm sure it smells amazing in there, by the way.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. So she screams at something we don't see. Jill comes running in to find her mom lying on the floor with acid from a glass jar pouring on her face, melting it. Dude, it's great effects of her face melting, but my God.
I have a candle that Dustin from $2 Late Fee gave me. It's Billy Cole's head, and when you light it, it melts into the what do you call it? Turns into the melting face of Billy Cole from Fright Night.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh, my God.
So it reminds me of that a little bit. And
Does it look like Jonathan Stark? And by the way, guys and gals, we interviewed Jonathan Stark. If you want to go back and listen to that, we did that like 3 or 4 years ago.
We did that during the pandemic.
Yeah, we did.
That was crazy. Yeah, it does look like Billy Cole, Jonathan Stark, and he has more animation in his face than she does. She looks like she's asleep.
Yeah, she does.
Just lying there as the acid's pouring on her face. Clearly, the acid was strong enough to melt her face, but not strong enough to wake her up. So is she already dead? Because
yeah, I'm thinking she's already dead.
When she hit the ground, probably killed her, right?
Yeah. I think she sees something, screams, probably dies, and then falls over. Yeah, I think she's already dead when the acid is coming down.
And this is when all that red foam comes out.
Yeah.
It literally looks like a melted slushie.
Yeah, it does. It does. Jill watches in horror, then tries to look away, only to see her dead father lying on the table and all the other corpses in the room. As blood and acid start spreading across the floor, Jill tries to get away, but runs into another room where more corpses are hanging. She screams as one falls towards her. Jill's scream crossfades to a jazz band playing in a bar. We see that Liza and John are sharing a drink. He's drinking whiskey like a man, and she's having a milkshake.
Yeah, because, she's probably hungry because she didn't get any food earlier.
Yeah, she's probably got low blood sugar. She needs I need some sugar, man.
Something. Come on, need something.
I need my whiskey because I may have to go back to work later, and I'm a man. God damn it.
Yeah.
Zach's like, I don't drink whiskey though, but yeah,
I do occasionally.
Oh, I love whiskey. I love scotch.
You know what
I love bourbon.
juicy ropes.
I know. Dude, the acid blood looked like a melted juicy rope.
It did. It actually got me really hungry for a Slurpee. I haven't a Slurpee in forever, ever since the Red Dye 40 is bad for you. And I'm like, oh man, but I really like Slurpees.
My favorite Slurpee was always the blue raspberry.
Oh yeah. I think that was really good too. The Coke always lost its flavor right away.
Yeah, what was that? Because you'd start sucking on it, and then it would go white. You'd suck the flavor out of it.
You suck.
Say it again. How many did you suck it?
5 times. You suck the flavor out. You suck the food coloring out of it.
I know.
The caramel syrup.
Why didn't the food color attach to the molecules the way the blue and the red did?
I tell you what, we don't got it good. Who has it good is Shave Ice in Hawaii, where they put the cream in there.
Oh, fuck you. That's not from Hawaii, motherfucker. Rita's is from Maryland. That is a Maryland thing where you put the custard in the middle of the shaved ice, and that is now nationwide, and that came from Maryland. God damn it.
Chime in the comments. Which came first, Dakine or Doritos?
John asks Liza what she did in the Big Apple. Just about everything a girl could do without losing her good English breeding and reputation. This was definitely written by a man. Modeling, dancing, secretary. I almost became an unsuccessful fashion designer when this letter arrived announcing the inheritance. She knew that she had a rich bachelor uncle, but never thought that she'd be running a hotel one day. John asks if she still plans on fixing the place up after all the accidents. Liza says she has no choice. It's this or nothing now. John asks how long she thinks it will take to finish the renovations. Liza says she doesn't know. Martha and Arthur are more of a hindrance than a help, but she can't fire them because they came with the hotel. John thinks that's strange. He's never heard of them. By the way, John knows everybody in town,
Well, he's the doctor. He reminds me of a young version of that asshole doctor in Arachnophobia who
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, that movie kind of sucks.
Yeah, we watched it when I was in town for Pasadena Comic-Con. It's fucking 2 hours long. It's so boring.
Yeah. They're showing it here in LA, and I'm like, why? But anyways,
John Goodman is the best part of that movie, and he's in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and John McCabe, John McCain, whatever, the doctor. He's crotchety, and you're like, dude, you're so crotchety, and you're not even 60 yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely crying, and he's gonna give her some real shit later too, and some real shit looks too.
His facial expressions are gold.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just then, the waitress tells Dr. McCabe that the hospital is on the phone. He goes to the bar and takes the call. He looks shocked and says, "What? Oh, what? Okay."
What?
Zach and I were sending little John GIFs back and forth the other day.
It's Chappelle who does the best version of it.
Yeah. And I think that at this point, that's the version that we all know is Chappelle doing it.
Yeah.
Cut to Joe and his wife Mary Ann's funeral. Their daughter Jill is just standing there looking down as everyone gives their condolences, including Liza. In the distance, we see Emily and her seeing eye dog Dickie watching the service. Once everyone has left, Jill looks at the camera and we see that her pupils are white and cracked like Emily's. Zach, I noticed that this shot is out of focus, and I think that the actress might have missed her mark because she couldn't see with the contacts. And this is sort of just going on in my head because it's a real dramatic shot and it's a location shot. So you know that how hard it would be for them to kind of get that location again. So I'm guessing. I think she missed her shot, and the focus is racked based on distance and everything. I think she can't see shit with those glasses on. She looks up, they rack the focus, they zoom in essentially, and it's out of focus. And I think they see that in the dailies the next day, and I think there's nothing they can fucking do about it because, again, it's a location at the cemetery. If you want to go back, you got to pay for it again. And I think it's one of those things where it's, okay, it's good enough, but I've always been bummed out by the fact that it's not in focus.
Yeah, this film has, it's got some skin tags on it that should be removed, but and that's one of them. I agree with you. I noticed that too, and I was like, oh, it's still a cool scene though.
Yeah, and still a cool shot. It's just, the focus is a little bit off.
And disturbing, to know about New Orleans. If you've ever been down there, if you have never been down there, they got to keep the bodies above the ground because of the flooding involved.
Yeah.
Clearly, Liza's hotel has a lot of that flooding.
Yeah. I've been to New Orleans twice, once pre and
Me too.
once post Katrina.
Me too.
It's a fun town. I mean, both times were fun. Obviously if you know
Me
where
too.
to go and everything. But yeah, it's a wild town, and it has its own such a unique culture unto itself, and that culture being not only brought there by the people who made the town, but also like by necessity of the town being under water level.
Yeah, there's some deep history there, and it's probably not all good.
A lot of it's not good.
Most of it. Yep.
But now, like, dude, now Jill is on her own and everything, and you got to wonder, like, is she now the same as Emily? Like, did she technically die in the morgue as well, and she's back, whatever, or has she just seen the other side? Has she seen the beyond? And if you see the beyond and you live, your eyes go white from it.
Sure, I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
For $1.
Yeah.
Back in the Seven Doors Hotel, we see that the water in the basement is running fast now, and a wind howls up the stairs. It's night now, and we see Liza walking through the hotel with a lantern. She hears Emily call her name from the dark. Liza looks over and sees the blind lady sitting in a chair with her dog Dickie by her side. Emily says, "Why didn't you listen to me, Liza? We blind see things more clearly. I wanted to spare you, but now I'll have to tell you everything." Well, bitch, you should have done that before.
I know. Just you want me to get out? Give me the full details.
Give me the 411, baby. And by the way, I'm with you 100%. Anytime Emily's on the screen, I think the movie has an interesting life to it. I think it's when it becomes its most haunting and dreamlike.
Yeah, I think Jill, it's kind of the same way. When Jill pops up, you're like, oh, this is interesting. Where's this going,
Yeah. We see a POV shot of someone running up the stairs and stopping at room 36. We hear moaning, and by the way, the subtitles say zombie moaning, but I think it's supposed to be the spirit of Schweik. Emily puts it all on the table for Liza with her mid-movie exposition dump. 60 years ago, everybody in this hotel disappeared. A painter called Schweik, who lived here, closeted in his room, had found a key to the 7 gateways of hell. The house was constructed on one of the... She hears a floorboard creak and gasps. Emily says, "I can feel a presence. Someone else is in here." Liza says nobody is here, but Emily is adamant that it's the spirit of Schweik. He's come back to the hotel. Emily starts walking around in the darkness and finds herself in front of Schweik's painting. As she touches it, the bell for room 36 starts ringing. Emily says that was Schweik's room. She warns Liza to never enter room 36. Liza lays down the law. "Now look, Emily, I've lived in New York all my life, and if it's one thing I've learned not to believe in, it's ghosts." She says it'll take more than some faulty electronics or a crazy story for her to give up this hotel, and that she was lucky enough to inherit it. As Emily is touching the painting, she gasps in pain. Her palms are cut and bloody. She screams and runs out of the hotel with her seeing eye dog following behind. Liza runs to the door and calls out for Emily, but the blind lady has gone into the night. As she stands there alone, Liza starts thinking about Emily's panicked run. There were no sounds of footsteps as she ran, but there were when Liza walked over the same flooring. We see this illustrated by the editor repeating the same shot of Emily running silently than the shot of Liza walking with the sounds of footsteps. I think the editing here is very cool. It's one of those things where I'm so happy that Liza didn't say out loud, "I didn't hear any footsteps." That's the easy thing to do. They
Right.
showed it in editing, and I thought that was so much more interesting. But Zach, this scene as a whole, what did you think of it?
Well, Liza's a liar because there's ghosts everywhere in New York. They made a documentary about it a couple years later called Ghostbusters. So, that's... She's a liar.
Good one, buddy. Good one.
You know, and I love that. It reminded me of there's a town in outside of Death Valley called Amargosa, and it's right on the border of Nevada and California. It's the last town before you hit the border, and there's a hotel there called the Amargosa Hotel. They filmed David Lynch's Lost Highway at this hotel. I stayed at this hotel. They've got wild peacocks there that walk around and yelling, "Help!" That's the sound of a peacock call. It sounds like it's saying help.
Jesus.
And this hotel, you go in, and half of it is a opera house where there's the owner does a like bi-weekly ballet performance while her caretaker, who dresses up as a clown, has toy trains that go around her.
My God.
You guys can all look this up. I stayed there. Anyways, you go into the hotel, and down the hallway, each room is painted with a different theme. There's a clown room. There's a peacock room. And one section of the hotel is boarded up on one side and boarded up on the other, because there's a series of rooms where a foreman for the borax chemical company was lynched and killed by his employees back in the day, because there was a borax mining company there for borax detergent. Yeah, the mine went belly up. They couldn't pay their employees, and they killed him in the room. And
God
boarded up.
damn.
And I found this out because the group I was staying with, we went out for dinner that night and met a waitress at the local place, and she told us about that. She's like, "Oh, I used to work there at the hotel. It's haunted. It's haunted." And I go, "You don't say."
I mean, it has to be, clearly.
Come back to this hotel, and there's a skylight in our room, and in the middle of the night I hear "help," and I look up, and there's a peacock looking down at me, but it's got bright red eyes. It scares the shit out of me. The next morning we're going to check out, and I see a guy sitting in the lobby, and I turn, he's reading a newspaper, and I turn, and he's gone.
No
And
shit.
flashback to the night before, the lady, she goes, "Have you met, I forget his name now," but she's like, "He's the ghost that lives in the hotel."
Whoa.
And I saw him the next morning. So
What? No.
yeah,
That's
Amargosa
fucking
Hotel.
awesome.
Yeah. Look it up. It's a real place, and I stayed there. And it's creepy.
That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that. I would definitely remember that story. That's cool.
Yeah. So
I
anyways,
actually think the peacock staring at you is the scariest part of that whole story.
it was terrifying. I love peacocks, but not in the middle of the night staring at me through a window with beady red eyes.
Wow, that is wild, dude. That is wild.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So that's what I think about that scene.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know how I'm supposed to finish this this breakdown, man. It's hard to follow that story right there.
So creepy.
That
I'm
is
not sure
cool
if it's
as hell.
around anymore, but yeah.
That
Anyways.
is- and then was this before Bodhi? Was this when you and Kristen?
Oh yeah,
were...
this was 2004 or 5.
Okay.
This is before everything.
Okay, before everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, baby. I know, baby.
Yeah. Death Valley, they
man.
call it Death Valley because when the first settlers got there, they said the only thing that could live here is death.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and it's
And
hot
it
as fuck there too.
Tracks in with this movie because it looks like Death Valley in the middle of the night walking in the desert.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways.
Okay. Now that's wild, buddy. Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome, Cam.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cam, hope you're getting money's worth on this one, buddy.
Cam's like, I know who I'm going to have on my show next. I'm going to have Zach on the show to talk more about this Amargosa Hotel. That was a terrible impression of you, Cam. I apologize.
Yeah,
You sound
yeah.
nothing like that.
Cam, please don't cancel your membership. Cut to the next day, and Liza uses a hatchet to break into room 36. She's done fucking around.
She breaks that lock pretty well with that hatchet.
Yeah, she does. She looks around the room and finds the Book of Iban sitting on a desk. She makes her way into the bathroom and screams when she sees Schweik's rotting corpse crucified to the wall. Thunder and lightning roar as Liza runs down the stairs and right into John's arms as he's opening the front door. The good doctor consoles the hysterical hotel owner. Once Liza is calm, she takes John up to room 36. He checks the bathroom, but there's no corpse. Then he looks at Liza in a real condescending manner. He just looks, it's like a slow look. He's like, "You fucking bitch. You wasted my time."
That's the look. Yeah, it's my favorite look in the movie.
Mine too, dude. Mine too. Liza now thinks the whole thing was just her imagination. She got carried away by the story Emily told her about the room. John asks, who is Emily? The blind girl that lives in the old house by the crossroads. I love how John's like, John says he knows everyone around here and there's no blind girl living in that house. Liza looks down and realizes that the Book of Iban is gone from the desk. Yeah, this is when he is in complete he's a perfect prick in this scene.
I think if you read any lines from him in this, you have to have that tone with you. I know everybody in this town from now on.
And dude, New Orleans is not a small town, but they treat it like it's a small town, though.
Yeah.
Because this is clearly written by somebody from Italy.
Yeah, who's like first time ever coming to New Orleans, and it's at 4 a.m. when they shoot this movie because there's no one around, and they're like, "This is a small town. No one lives here. Look how empty this place is." I would love it if John McClane or Dr. John was played by Ted Knight from Caddyshack.
God. Well, we're waiting.
Just drink a Fresca.
God, so good. Oh, cut to Emily Plain. God, I love it.
Why don't you go mow my lawn?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
What was the show that he was on?
Too Close for Comfort.
Too Close for Comfort.
God, I love that show too.
Me too. So as a kid, I watched that just as much as Three's Company, Night Court, all that. So he drew the cow comic. He had the cow glove and everything like that. You know.
Yeah. I love that show.
Me too.
They just had a reunion here in Burbank with the two ladies and Jim J. Bullock, who looks great, by the way. I honestly thought he was dead. Like, I didn't know he was still alive.
I thought he was dead. Good for him. Good for him.
I'm like, why is this guy not acting anymore? Maybe there's a reason. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Diallo, if you're listening, start singing that theme song to Too Close for Comfort in your head. You know it. You know it.
Oh, that show is great. Loved it. Now I'm got to go see if it's on Amazon Prime. That's where I usually watch my Night Courts and my It's a Living. And It's a Living's in rotation on what I watch before I go to bed.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Ted Knight as Dr. John would be amazing.
He would be perfect. He would be. Now we see Liza and her contractor Martin walking through town discussing the renovations he wants to do to the hotel. Liza, half paying attention, says that he can do whatever he wants as long as it doesn't cost her anything. I have carte blanche, but not a blank check. As they walk past a bookshop, Liza glances over and sees the Book of Iban in the window. She rushes inside the store, but the book is no longer there. She asks the owner about the book she saw, but he doesn't know what she's talking about. I was very disturbed by the huge nose hair growing out of the tip of that old man's nose. Martin asks Liza if she's okay, but she brushes it off. He tells her that he has to go to the town hall and dig up the hotel's blueprints for his renovations. We quickly see Arthur in the basement of the hotel, about to patch up the hole where zombie Schweik reached through and grabbed Joe's face. At the town hall, we see the clerk, played by Lucio Fulci. And it is. He usually has, I think, maybe a little cameo in a lot of his movies. Actually, yeah. I don't know if he did have one in The House by the Cemetery. But yeah, this the clerk is Fulci. Show Martin where the hotel blueprints are. They're so high on the library shelves that he has to use a ladder to get them. The clerk tells Martin he's going to lunch and won't be back for an hour. Martin climbs the ladder and pulls the blueprint book. He finds the page and is shocked by what he sees. The hotel's blueprints look bigger than it actually is. Just then, there's a blinding flash of light and thunder. This startles Martin and he falls off the ladder, breaking his neck on the floor below. He's not dead, though, only paralyzed. Out of the darkness, an army of giant spiders crawl towards him. All he can do is watch as they crawl over his body and start tearing his face apart. They rip out his eyeballs, his lips, and his tongue. As this happens, the camera pans over to the blueprints of the hotel, and the design fades away piece by piece, leaving a blank white page.
That's my favorite scene in this film. That part.
That little part.
That's my favorite scene. That's my favorite part in this scene.
Right. Yeah, because this is probably my least favorite scene in the movie as a whole. I think the fake spiders look bad, and that would be fine, but I feel like the whole scene is kind of slow, And I almost would have just been fine with him falling and breaking his neck or something. But I know we've already seen that with the painter, and they're giving us something more. It's like, well, they're giving us like this whole gory scene, and I'm just like, it's so slow, dude. This is probably my least favorite part of the entire movie.
Yeah, me too. It's very unnecessary in my opinion. Like the spider's eating his tongue, and like there's a close-up shot of his mouth, and the teeth look really silly, and they're like ripping his eyeball out. Like, come on! I will say this is the one scene where I'm like, no, you don't have to go there. You really don't. Everything up until this point kind of made sense. Well, no, the face melting scene is very long too, but
this is longer than that though.
This is longer, and that one's more artistic looking. This one's just kind of like, I don't know. Is it inventive? Yeah. I mean, is it original? Yeah. But I agree that the spiders are so silly looking. The real spiders look really cool.
Yeah.
And I love close-up shots of real looking spiders. 5 minutes of arachnophobia. And, but outside of that, like, yeah, this scene is very long. And then it is cool that the spirits have basically erased the blueprints of the house, which I want to see more of that. I'm like, I want to see the deeper dive into the blueprints of the house. That was cool.
Yeah, speaking of Ghostbusters, it reminds me of, what they talk about in Ghostbusters when they're in jail and they're looking at the blueprints of the hotel and like Ivo Shandor and everything, and they're like the metallurgy and stuff, and Ray's like, they've never built anything like this before. Like, I like that idea. I like that there's like some kind of magic put into the building itself just by the design of it.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's real life you're talking, so.
Oh. You're right, buddy. That is real life, baby. Go get her, Ray. Cut to John checking out the old abandoned house that Emily lives in. He breaks into the front door, and we see the inside is in ruin, unlike every other time we saw it when Emily was there. Something on a table catches John's eye. It's the Book of Ivan. Slightly burned, but still readable. Dramatic, jazzy music plays. That's what the subtitle says. Outside, we see Liza drive by. Back inside, John is reading the book. Cut to the Seven Doors Hotel, and Martha is cleaning room 36. She makes her way to the bathroom and sees the tub is clogged, and the water is so murky you can't see what's beneath the surface. She reaches in with her bare hand, and pulls out a huge clump of gross hair, which we know now to be Joe's pubes, or as Paul would call them,
tubes.
There you go.
Which would really be funny is if after she does that, she puts that slop on the ground and then wipes her brow.
Yeah. Splat.
Yeah.
As the water slowly drains, she gasps when she sees Joe's corpse slowly rise up and out of the tub. The zombie grabs Martha by the face and shoves her head onto one of the nails sticking out of the wall, the same nail that Liza saw Schweik crucified to earlier. The nail goes through the back of her head and pops out her right eyeball from the inside. Now, this kill is awesome. Like, it's faster than the tarantulas. It's more fun. But also, Zach, it kind of goes, again, back to the fact that, like, of this like weird loose phantasm connection, because like, how did Joe's corpse teleport from the morgue to here? It's like, it's dreamlike. It doesn't fit like a normal logic.
I actually was telling myself this through a lot of this movie to remember what Jeff Lieberman said in his interview, where he's just like, there's not all this deep thought to some of these movies. Sometimes it's just, it is what it is. Like, have fun with it, just have fun with it. Have fun with the fact that it's so over the top, and well, why did this happen, or what did that? Don't ask questions for answers that are not going to be worth the question itself. Just like enjoy the ride. And this kind of consistent trope of like eye horror in Italian shock movies, it's, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like they love to do their eyeball scenes.
Well, I was going to ask you, how does this one compare to the famous one in Zombie?
I mean, it's not as shocking because you don't have sympathy for Martha like you did for
the doctor's wife or whatever.
Yeah, in Zombie, you have way more sympathy for her, I think. For Martha, you're just like, meh, okay, whatever.
And there's something to be said about in Zombie, like she sees it coming towards her. Martha doesn't. I mean, I think she knows danger's behind her with that nail thing, but she doesn't see it actually coming. But I do still like that they did it basically the reverse, essentially.
Yeah. And it's funny, like those spikes on the wall. Kristen bought these rustic nails to put on the wall to like hang hats on. And whenever I see those rustic nails, I think of these spikes from the movie.
Well, don't get your eyeball popped out, buddy.
No eyeball popping here.
Just finger popping each other's assholes.
What? Sure.
Oh, man.
No, that was last week.
You need to rewatch 21 Jump Street.
I guess I do. Fuck you, brain. That's my favorite line.
We see Liza arrive back at the hotel. The wind is blowing hard and she hears wolves howling in the distance. And Zach, I've said it before, specifically on our review of The Wind, but boy, oh boy, do I love wind in movies.
Yeah, me too. Not as good as The Wind, but pretty close.
Oh my God, go back and listen to that review with The Wind with Meg Foster and Wings Hauser, man. That is such an awesome, underrated film.
I mean, yeah, like, who would have thought that movie would be as good as it is? Go watch The Wind. Go watch The Wind after you watch The Beyond. And then go watch Money Pit.
Railsback was in The Wind, remember?
That's right.
Oh, Railsback. He's another one like with John McCabe here who looks older than he actually is.
Oof, boy, yeah, no doubt.
We see John at the hotel morgue examining the corpse of Schweik with the Book of Iban in his hand. He's looking for the arcane symbol he sees on the page. It's the same symbol we saw on the wall in the basement. John eventually finds it on Schweik's left wrist. We hear a voiceover by John. And the day the gates of hell are opened, on that day the dead will walk the earth. Cut to blind Emily sitting in her pristine phantom house by the crossroads. She has Dickie by her side. We see a silent shadow move past her face, and Dickie starts to whine and bark. Just then, the piano starts playing on its own, and Emily jumps to her feet, asking who's there. The camera is close on her face. She hears a door creak, and the camera slightly pans over to reveal no one. When Emily's face is recentered in the frame, she sits back down, and we see Zombie Schweik standing silently behind her. Emily hears another noise and stands back up and starts blindly reaching out around the room. She calls out, "I know it's you. What do you want from me now? Schweik, I know you're here." Emily walks past multiple zombies silently standing in the room. Then she trips and falls to the floor. Emily starts crawling, then screams when she touches a bare zombie foot. She puts her back into a corner and yells to Schweik that she doesn't want to go back. She did what she was asked to do. The camera pulls back to a master shot of the room from a high angle, and we see 5 zombies standing around the room. Schweik, Arthur, Martha, Joe, and I think the painter is the 5th one.
Yeah, I think so too. I was trying to make that out, but I think you're right.
As Emily stands in the corner screaming that she doesn't want to go back, Dickie just sits there silently with the zombies. It's freaky how still and lifeless they are. As Emily slumps down, we see a shadow descend upon her, but it's just Dickie comforting her. She orders her German Shepherd to attack, and he takes Schweik down like a sack of shit. I love Schweik. It's like Schweik zombies like not even expecting that. Like, whoa!
I love dog attacks in movies.
Me too. Emily keeps yelling for Dickie to not let them get her, and we hear the dog fight the zombies. Then silence. Emily stops screaming and holds her breath. She's relieved when Dickie comes back to her side. She can't see it, but the dog has a huge wound on its head. Emily pets Dickie and it turns on her, ripping out her throat, then biting off her ear while she screams and dies again. Zach, what do you think of this scene? The zombies standing there silently and everything, and then her ultimately getting killed by Dickie.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's definitely atmospheric and creepy. And it's sad that she's a likable character. You don't want to see her get wasted. And also by her dog, too. And you're just like, oh, come on. They turned the dog on her? No. Yeah, I really enjoy the scene.
Do you think that dog died, and then now that it's a zombie, it can be used? Because it had when I was younger and I watched the movie, I thought it was just supposed to be blood on its head, but I'm looking at it now in beautiful 4K, and I think it's supposed to be a wound on its head. So I think it technically got killed, and because of that, they're able to control its body.
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
It's now a horror hound.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like a
Hound of
hellhound.
hell.
Yeah. Like the kinds we see in Lost Boys, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, I have that on 4K and I've not watched it. I was actually thinking about showing it to my nephew, but my sister and brother-in-law beat me to it, and they showed it to him I think a couple months ago, and he really liked it.
Oh, maybe I can show Bodhi then. I guess.
I don't think there's like anything really. There's
just
sex
a
scene,
love scene, but it's
very like lovey-dovey. It's not. It's very tame.
That's the one scene where you're like, this could have been a lot shorter. It's the Cry Little Sisters scene,
Yeah.
Jamie Gertz was the queen of like doing like tame love scenes.
Oh, Gertz. Love me some Gertz.
She's married to the owner of the Carolina Panthers.
Yes, she is. And oh shoot, I forgot her name from People Under the Stairs. What's her name? The girl that's in that. She's married to some like prince, or whatever from some country. So she's like a duchess or whatever.
Oh, she
now.
is?
Yeah. Of course, I'm talking about AJ Langer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her. That's why she doesn't act anymore. You don't ever see her in anything.
No. Oftentimes. What happened to Jim J. Bullock?
Yeah, exactly. We thought he was dead.
I love that guy.
Cut to John calling Liza from a payphone, but no one picks up at the hotel. We see Liza in the flooded basement looking for Arthur and Martha. And by the way, Catriona MacColl talks about how funny it was for her yelling Arthur, Martha, her and David Warbeck were kind of like making fun of it, and Fulci didn't get it because when he was writing the script in Italy, it's Arturo and Marta, so it doesn't rhyme. But she's like, over here it rhymes. Like, you don't get it? Oh, okay, never mind.
So Fulci's like, so I'm the asshole, right?
I think that was Fulci's reaction because she was like, he didn't get it.
He's like, you saw what I did to my daughter when she showed me her tattoo, right? Do you want the same thing to happen to you?
But at least I'm not Dario Argento.
I'm gonna put you in a Dario Argento movie if you don't.
That'll show you.
You don't quiet your faccia. Faccia's Italian, right? For face. Yep.
As she walks back to the stairs on the wooden boards, Arthur jumps out of the water and tries to drag her under. Liza breaks free and runs upstairs. As she runs for the front door, the bell to room 36 starts ringing and she screams. Liza runs the opposite way and right into John's arms. She screams again. John tells her to calm down. She tries to tell him about Arthur. Liza, stop it. Stop it. Look,
what's wrong with you?
I'm sick of hearing all these stories. Liza asks, what stories? John says the body hanging in the bathroom and the blind woman that doesn't exist. He tells Liza that he went by the house and it's been abandoned for at least 50 years. At least, goddammit.
I should know. I know everybody in this town. By the way, is he dead in that scene?
He's dead. He's dead because we saw him scene prior. He's one of the zombies in there,
right?
Ghost zombies. But yeah, he's dead essentially.
Okay.
I think he's underwater basically.
Yeah.
Liza swears that Emily is real. She spoke to her and she was at her house. John says he knows that Liza was there. He found the book she left for him to read, which he did. God damn it, which he goddamn did. Liza asks, what did it say? Because I love how she didn't even read it. John doesn't answer. He just asks Liza to show him where she found Arthur. Cut to the two of them standing on the wooden planks in the flooded basement. John asks if this is where Arthur tried to get her. Liza sobs and says, please, John, you must believe me. He absolutely doesn't believe her. Liza says that she must be going crazy. John says, perhaps. Or else. Who are you, Liza? Who are you really? She doesn't understand why he's asking that. According to the Book of Iban, this hotel is one of the 7 gateways of hell. Just then, there's a flash of light and thunder and wind starts blowing violently. John and Liza struggle to keep their footing as blood starts dripping from the ceiling. They run out of the basement and up the stairs as the water in the basement turns red. Zach, there's an idea here. with him asking, who is she really? Because, yeah, why did she inherit this? Is she somehow related to Schweik or whatever? But it's absolutely unanswered and is just mentioned and then completely dropped.
I honestly think there's every plot question, there's no answer. It's whatever you want it to be. Is she a descendant? Yes. Is it she just happened to be there? Yes.
Yes. It's whatever you want. And Zach, well, let me ask you this, Zach. Do we use the term, because we both love this movie, even though we have these questions, do we use the term dreamlike to kind of just basically make an excuse for the fact that we don't get answers to this stuff?
This film gets a pass for it.
It definitely does.
Because if you took a fine-tooth comb to this film, the plot points would just fall apart looser than Joe's pubes through Martha's fingers.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's clumpier, so it would hold more. The more the wall of the basement.
So you would say that this is not really a movie you really want to analyze. It's a movie you want to just let wash over you and sort of enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
But here we are.
but I mean, we're breaking it down scene by scene, but this movie, though, is more enjoyable, I think, when you just let go of reality.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because they are officially they're almost out of reality. They'll be further out of reality in a couple minutes.
So they run back upstairs, Zach. I think that they are no longer on our plane, or they're starting to transition. I think when the lightning flashes in the basement and the wind is blowing and everything, I think that when they run upstairs, they're not in like their own reality anymore, and they're starting to be in this like transitional reality. Do you think that happens here, or do you have an idea of when it happens at a different time?
I think when Judge Smales, Ted McClane, John McClane, Father Ted, John dies at the end. He does die at the end. Dr. John. When Dr. John starts to believe, that's when they flipped.
Okay.
So yeah, right now.
Okay.
Or soon after, pretty soon after, or right now. Yeah.
Upstairs, they run past Schweik's painting, which is dripping with blood.
Yeah,
and out
right
the
here.
front door to John's car. Okay, so you think it's basically right here?
Yeah, I think so. Like that's when officially they're like, yeah, you're dead. Hell's taking you over.
Yeah. A narrator says, "And you shall face the sea of darkness and all therein that may be explored." This is one of my favorite shots in the entire movie. As John and Liza drive away from the hotel, all the lights inside turn on, and we see the silhouettes of zombies in each window. And I think it's one of the 5, but I love how they slowly a light will turn on, then the zombie or ghost will stand up, and I love that. I think it's so freaky, dude.
It totally is. Turns out it was Kevin McAllister actually in the house after they left, and because he thought they were the Wet Bandits, and he put up his puppets of Michael Jordan dancing in the strings.
It's a crossover movie right there. Kevin
The Beyond?
McAllister. It's like guarding the gates of hell, essentially.
I mean, he kind of was in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that scene. I love it too. It's a little Haunted Mansion, but turns out I love Haunted Mansion.
The movie?
Disneyland? Disney?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
The
The
ride.
ride. Yeah. Me too. Oh, I'm a huge fucking Haunted Man. I like it when they turn it into the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. But I also like it just as its normal form.
Yeah, I prefer that one for sure. And then it would be great if you go in Haunted Mansion, suddenly it's and
And then he opens up and you're in hell. It's just you're at the beyond.
And puppets are getting their eyes gouged out, and little kids are going, "Mommy, this is scary."
Shut up, or I'll put you in a Dario Argento movie. Cut to John and Liza driving down a deserted city street. Liza remarks that there isn't a soul in sight.
Yep,
John
here it
says,
is. Here it is.
Yeah, okay, so you think right now they're basically in the beyond. They're transitioning over.
Well, he read the book. And that, I think, is the connection, too.
Oh, good point. Okay, yeah, good call. Because she didn't. So you almost wonder if he would have passed over and she wouldn't have, if they hadn't been so connected here at the end.
Yeah, but she was touched by Emily, and then like
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
John says that they'll be up at the hospital soon. They pull up to the front of the hospital and it seems abandoned too. As they walk to John's office, he says he'll only accept rational explanations. He wants to talk to Dr. Harris, his buddy Dr. Harris. I need to talk to Dr. He's got a beard. I trust him. I'll talk to him. And then he also wants to call the FBI, goddammit.
Where the hell's the records room?
John grabs a big-ass revolver from his desk and loads it while Liza stands by a window that sort of faces the hallway.
Side note, really quick. Why does every doctor have a gun in their drawer?
Back in the 80s? I know, dude. I know. And this is a big fucking gun. It's not like it's not like a little like snub-nosed one. It's like a fucking Magnum or something. You can't really see through the window as the glass isn't like fully transparent. John tries the phone, but he doesn't get a dial tone. Just then, Liza looks at her hands, and they are bleeding like Emily's were earlier. She yells out to John, and as he looks up, zombies burst through the window behind Liza and grab her by the hair. John doesn't hesitate. He starts blasting. He shoots the zombie, grabbing Liza twice in the arm, but it doesn't let go. He then shoots it in the head, and it drops. The two of them run out of the office, and we see a horde of zombies are in the hallway. John tells Liza to get to the elevator. He pops off a few rounds and drops a zombie, then catches up with Liza as the doors are closing. Now out of bullets, John ducks into a room and locks the door. Downstairs, Liza is startled to find Jill hiding in the morgue with the dead bodies. She doesn't notice the girl's white eyes. Upstairs, John has reloaded his gun and is watching the door with his back to a curtain when a knife slices through the fabric. John dodges it and disarms the attacker, only to realize that it's his friend, Dr. Harris. John asks him what's happening, but the doctor doesn't know. Just then, the zombies break through the door and John dispatches a few, but there are too many of them. By the way, I still love how Fulci does zombies. Like, I love how their eyes are closed and they're like looking down and they're shuffling so slowly. He does this in Zombie, and I love it so much. They're even slower than Ramiro zombies.
They are, and they're so strong.
Yeah.
And this scene, though, bugs me a little bit.
Sorry. Well, here, let's just finish. All of a sudden, the window shatters and shards of glass fly into Dr. Harris's face, killing him.
No. Biggest letdown in the movie, because I want to see Italian Nolte live longer. And then Dr. John, he's shooting the zombies. He's got to realize the headshots kill them, and he's plugging away, randomly shooting. Clearly, he's not a marksman.
Dude, that bugs the hell out of me. He learns it like right away, then he forgets it, then he relearns it, then he forgets it, then he learns it again. I'm like, bro, like, I mean, I get that maybe you're not like a marksman, but like after he's learned that shooting them in the head works, he still runs right up to one of the zombies and like plugs it twice in the chest, like point blank range. He's like, ugh, all right, head, boom, head, then it works. And you're like, okay, good. I mean, you've solidified it at this point. Nope. Then he goes back to trying to plug him in the chest. And I'm like, bro.
He's too busy thinking about all the people he knows in town.
Yeah. I know you. Where's the FBI, goddammit?
Bob, you work at the grocery store. Jill, you're supposed to be the girl who serves me ice cream.
Like in Batman, Bob, gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was the saddest death of Bob the Goon, man.
Still can't believe they made an action figure based on that.
I know.
That toy line sucked too, by the way.
It
Toy Wiz, what a shitty company that Toy Wiz is. Like DC, Kenner put out the DC superhero line and was so rad, the superpowers. And then Toy Wiz comes out. Toy Wiz got the licensing, I think. And, the figures just sucked. They were so cheesy looking. Yeah. I have a lot still. I still have some of them. They're so goofy looking. They didn't look anything like the cartoon or movie.
Remember the Shadow figures? I think Toy Wiz, they looked like Toy Wiz figures.
I would not be surprised if Toy Wiz did. What a crappy company that was. Sorry if anybody likes Toy Wiz. they were not so great because Kenner got the rights back to DC or I don't know, whatever. And then they released, you know,
the superpowers or whatever now. Well, McFarlane does that now.
They did that, but then they did the whole Batman line after the movie came out, and like they had a Bruce Wayne figure where it was just Bruce with his shirt, you know.
And you put the armor on him and everything.
So cool.
I had that toy,
Me
dude.
too.
It was so cool. I don't have it anymore. I shot it with a BB gun, but I had it back then. It's worth a lot now too, sadly.
Did you shoot it in the head or in the chest like Dr. John?
Both.
Woohoo!
Oh man. John makes it back to the hallway just as the elevator door opens. He finds Liza holding Jill inside. They go down to the main floor, but their exit is blocked by zombies, so they have to go back into the autopsy room. It's almost like a family circus cartoon comic strip where you know you'd see the kid how he walked home. You know, I always love those. It's like them walking all over the hotel just to wind up back where they started, essentially.
Right.
So there's more zombies in there, and also including zombie Schweik. As John is shooting as many as he can, Jill suddenly attacks Liza. I love how John quickly turns around and blows her fucking face off without hesitation. And bro, I mean, that picture in in Rue Morgue, in the Rue Morgue magazine, that picture is what got me excited to watch the movie. Because I mean, come on, watching a kid get her face blown off is amazing. And like the head pop in Scanners, it doesn't let me down at all. It is a wild piece of special effects.
I'm kind of surprised it's so fast.
Yeah, it doesn't linger too long on it.
No, and I would expect them to do it from like multiple angles just because it's so like impressive. But yeah, that's why it's impressive, because it doesn't last very long. It's pretty short and it's instant.
And I mean, it's pretty much the sort of the centerpiece kill of like the centerpiece effect of this entire movie.
Yeah, it's wild. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
John grabs Liza and they run out a back door, only to find themselves back in the basement of the Seven Doors Hotel. John says it's impossible. They hear the zombies coming for them upstairs, so they have no choice but to push forwards towards a bright light that's coming from a hole in the wall. They climb through and find themselves in hell, as depicted by Schweik's painting. A barren wasteland with no sky and petrified bodies lying in the dirt. John and Liza turn around to go back, but the hole they came through is gone. John grabs Liza's hand and they run, but it's no use. They are trapped. The camera dollies in on their faces and both of their eyes are white, like Emily's and Jill's were. The narrator says, "And you will face the sea of darkness, and all therein may be explored." Their bodies fade away. The end.
And then you hear steel and lace.
Lace and steel.
Woohoo!
Zach, what a haunting scene to leave us on. And it goes back, and maybe it's my Catholic upbringing or whatever, but one of my tropes that I'm most fearful in movies is we see it in Event Horizon at the end with Lawrence Fishburne. We see it here, Drag Me to Hell. Just the idea of getting taken to hell and maybe you didn't actually deserve it, like, is utterly terrifying to me.
Prince of Darkness too, you know.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's so powerful. Probably one of the most powerful final scenes in a horror film from the 80s. And I love it.
Do you think this movie, and I know that they had a hard time figuring out what the final scene was going to be and everything. Do you think that this movie would have had as much of a lasting legacy if it didn't end like it did?
No. This scene and the bridge scene are what make this movie iconic. It's not the kills. It's really not, because up until this point we had already seen enough of these kind of shocking kills. And maybe
the Jill's face getting shot off is probably the biggest one, like something we've never seen before, you know.
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, everything is pretty much kind of standard run of the mill Italian horror kills, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm poo-pooing on it. I'm just saying that's not what makes this movie unique. It's the haunting, dreamlike images. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I said earlier, and you agreed. I think we both agreed that the shot of Emily standing on the bridge, in the middle, like right in the middle of the lines too, and the way that the bridge is framed like perfectly center. And I mean, there's a reason that shot is pretty much what people use to promote the film with. Like that's what sort of you could show that shot to somebody, and even if they're not into like hardcore Italian horror, they might not know what movie it's from, but they'll probably recognize the image.
So I'm not a fan of censoring anything, but I am a fan of getting people interested in things that they might not be interested in. I think if you edit out some of the gore and show this movie to people like who really don't like gore, they'll love this movie because of that.
Yeah, you probably could too, because like with Jill getting her face shot off, you have him turn and shoot, and then you just cut right to Jill's hand, which is another reason why I like that shot too, is because you also then see the reaction of her hand pulling away from Liza's face. You could probably make a TV cut of it, and the movie would, I imagine, still maintain, like, still be interesting to watch because of how beautiful it is.
Yeah. I don't think it takes anything away if you take the gore out. I think it might add a unique twist to it.
Yeah. So Zach, after watching it, this many times and everything, is this still your favorite Fulci film?
Oh yeah, hands down, no doubt. I do like his non-gore horror as well. Well, I do like his non-gore films as well, like his westerns or his action films. It's very limited. I think they're worth seeking out, but The Beyond is his, like you said, it's his magnum opus. It's, Charlotte's Web. It was her giant sack of spiders. This is his giant sack of spiders that apparently will pull your tongue out of your mouth and chew your eyeballs out too.
Exactly. Oh man, then you would edit out most of that scene as well, and I would be for our fabled TV cut, and I would be okay with that. But
people are gonna be so pissed hearing that. They'll be like, "What? You're cutting?"
Guys and gals, leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube or even on our Patreon page. Let us know what your favorite kills were and everything, and let us know, are we wrong about the spider scene? Did you feel the same way? And Cam, thank you so much for bringing this one to the table. I mean, it would have been on our to-do list. It's always been on our to-do list forever. We kind of just got to zombie first, I think, because there was an easier at the time, an easier disc to get a hold of. There was no new no new cut of The Beyond or anything like that, or no new 4K or Blu-ray at the time. So this was perfect timing for that Grindhouse release. And again, if you have the money to splurge on it, then I totally recommend picking it up. But Zach, did you watch the DVD, the steel tin can?
I did. I did. Yes, and the quality is pretty darn good, all things considered. I love it so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that
too.
Grindhouse has the.
I do too. At the beginning, it's so awesome. Zach, this kicks off our first horror movie review of October. We have another one coming before the end of the month. It should be a lot of fun. It's a cult classic that a lot of people love, and I think everyone's going to be excited for that one. But Zach, what's going on in October over on $2 Late Fee on the main feed?
Woo, it's been a busy couple of months over in $2 Late Fee land. If you haven't already checked it out, a couple weeks back, Corey and I interviewed the cast and crew of the new TV series or streaming series, Scream and Cry horror movie review. It's worth checking out. It's a lot of fun. And that kind of kicked off spooky season for us. It's all over the place. $2 Late Fee just dropped an interview with Stan Bush. Yes, the Stan Bush of You Got the Touch fame, Transformers, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, etc., etc. He has a new album out. Dustin came back to the show on $2 late fee. Dustin and his brother Lance. Lance has a new book out. It's really cool for middle schoolers, Zed Moonstein. And they joined me to talk about the movie My Science Project from 1985. Covered Real Genius, covered Weird Science, have not covered My Science Project yet until now.
Dude, growing up, I watched My Science Project much more than I watched Weird Science. That being said, it falls into the category of movie that I watched a million times when I was a kid. Haven't watched it in 30 years, though.
Yeah, you'll have to listen to this episode, and you'll be intrigued, I think, because it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a movie that Dustin loved back in the day, and so did his brother Lance. It's cool to have the three of us on the show. It's been a long time coming to have Dustin on a proper show again. And we've got an interview coming up with Danielle Von Zernick, who is in My Science Project, and La Bamba, of course. She's a lot of fun to talk to. And yeah, but then we have an 80s Kids Unite. We're doing a Halloween theme for that.
Gots to, baby.
Yeah. We're rolling into, November and December, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of stuff going on. There's also an upcoming surprise interview for a movie, a Steve James movie. Steve James of American Ninja fame. And, well, you know who if you know cult movies, you know who Steve James is. Anyways, check out $2 Late Fees YouTube channel, subscribe to it if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you so much. Spotify, et cetera, we got lots of content. Corey's filtering in all over the place on there. So
of course, but anytime you need me, my friend, I will be there. And we hope you all enjoyed our discussion of Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller. That was a lot of fun. So guys and gals, thank you so much for supporting both shows. We know that we have a lot of cross-pollination there and everything, and I hope you guys all enjoyed last month's, complete crossover month. And then, November's coming around, then Christmas time. My God, it's always like this is when things ramp up, like starting September, October, November, December. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's nice that we kind of slow down during the summertime because, we definitely need it a little bit.
No rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked, baby. Oh, man. And as always,
we'll catch you on the 7 doors to hell. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woo-hoo!
Be sure to subscribe to Podcasting After Dark on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can support the show by joining our Patreon page, picking up a t-shirt from our merch store, or leaving us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Podcasting After Dark. All links can be found on our website at www.podcastingafterdark.com. And join us next time for another cult movie or TV show review with Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer.
Have you been wondering where's the beef? Well, on our podcast, Throwback Trivia Takedown, you might just find that out, as well as some other things about the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
We're a nostalgic-based trivia show that pits 2 challengers head-to-head in a duel of the decades, with categories ranging from movies, TV and music, to slang, food, and fashion. You're sure to get the best in retro-themed trivia.
So strap on your jelly shoes, grab a Surge, and walk like an Egyptian to your favorite podcast app and check out Throwback Trivia Takedown.
I heard even Mikey likes it.